Well, good morning, everybody. Yesterday was a pretty good day. Made some good progress. What I didn't show at the end of the video also is we did cut the wood for the bed platform, and I started drilling 2 1/8, I think, inch holes for ventilation, and it also helps reduce the weight. So before it gets nasty hot, I'm going to continue that because it's very dusty, and then I think we're going to get started on the electrical system. Because once the electrical system's in, I have to find out exactly what Hickory needs to build the kitchen cabinet, how much room, because the gas tank thing is right in the way, and see how much room he needs on what side of that he wants to work with, because he's going to help me build that, obviously, because he's a much better woodworker than I am. So, okay, I want to get some of them holes drilled. It's like before 8 o'clock. I just had a bowl of cereal, not run to town. We need to save money, and I need to get working. So let's go. By the end, that drill bit was extremely hot. Holes are done. Got to vacuum up. It's 20 after 8, 30 over 80 degrees, and 75% humidity. I am already dripping. Whew. Okay, as soon as I get this cleaned up, I think I'm going to try to figure out a way to, not figure out a way, I got to cut a board and then decide how I want to mount that board for the electrical system. And then we're going to go inside and try to put everything on the board because I'd much rather be in there than out here. So, okay, let's go get a board cut. All right, guys, I know this is dark, but I got to work in the shade. So we're going to go ahead and try to set up our electrical system. I need a little towel here. So as I stated before, okay, I have a 30 amp DC to DC MPPT solar charge controller. So currently we are going to run 100 watts of solar to the Renogy controller. We're going to have it hooked up to the battery of the van, and then also to the house batteries, 100 amp hours. I know people are going to tell me that's not enough. I've got 300 watts going to my Blue. Sooner or later, I will switch it over to all from the solar to the controller. But for right now, I'm going to keep my Blue. All right, so I want a 40 amp coming from the alternator. I want a 40 amp going to the battery, house battery. I want a 30 amp fuse coming from the solar. I want to disconnect from the solar, disconnect from the battery. All right. I would put a disconnect on from the van battery as well, but I only have 2. So if I ever need to work on this, These have these switches have breakers on them. I can trip. So this is really overkill. Wonder if I should just send that one back. If I trip the switch, it's disconnected anyways. You know what? I don't think I'm going to use this one. I think I'm going to send it back. Those inline fuses have trips on them. So if I need to work on this, I've got a disconnect and 2 trips. I think that's all we're going to need. I think this is like 20 bucks. So it's 20 bucks I get back in my pocket. Okay, so yeah, we're going to send one of these back. No reason to put a disconnect where I've already got a trip switch. I know somebody's going to tell me, "Oh, you should keep that," but 20 bucks I can get back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hook all these up. Well, screw everything down. Now that's kind of, they should have had screws here to hold this down. Then I could have put this on top. And they want me to use these big honking things. I don't think I'm using their hardware. Well, it would kind of work. Maybe we will use their hardware. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and attach everything and get wiring. We'll put it on fast forward. I was making really good progress here this morning. It was all going nice. Everything was working. Of course, I screwed the board to the board below it, but you know, stuff happens. I'm not going to buy a million different size screws, so I used ones a little too long, and it ends up getting screwed to the plywood below it. But easy fix, and they're all hidden anyways, so a little poking through doesn't matter. But now we got to get onto the wiring, and that is where it becomes an issue. First off, I thought there were 6 connectors in each package. There were only 4. But then I counted wrong because some of the studs on the different things are bigger than I thought they were when first going. So I just continue to go and go and go and go until we have to go back to Lowe's again. But everything seems to be working out. I made one mistake. I ran the positive to the fuse panel to the charge controller. So I moved that to the opposite downward side of the 40 amp inline fuse later on, and I think that'll be fine. Everything goes to the negative. I've seen it wired both ways. All negatives going to the Renogy controller, or some negatives going to the battery themselves. So I think it's going to work out okay. Of course, in the morning when I finish it tomorrow, We'll find out for sure. Well, everybody, we're not getting much done today. I thought I had I went to Lowe's. I thought I had everything I needed to finish the wiring, and I don't. I need more connectors. I counted up the connections, but guessed what the size of the lugs were going to be for some of the connections. So I bought more 8s than I needed and not enough number 6s. So I guess we're going back to Lowe's. I'd really like to get that done today, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's already late afternoon. But if I hurry up and go to Lowe's and get back, I may be able to salvage getting this finished up today. So let's hurry up and go to Lowe's. Okay, so I got it mounted where it's going to live in back here, but it's just too darn hot to keep working inside the van now. So I think I'm going to call it for this one, and we'll have to finish hooking it up tomorrow. Well, again, sorry it's so dark, but I can't be in the sun. Well, the electrical was going pretty good until I realized I didn't have enough pieces and parts. One mistake I made is I thought there were 6 connectors in a box. There are only 4. I still probably would have been a couple short, but I didn't think I needed that many number 6s. But I mean, the build's going okay. It's going slow. I mean, somebody mentioned yesterday or today, I can't remember, that I need to step it up, the progress. But as right now, I mean, I get the electrical finish wired in the morning, some more painting. That's just trim work in the couple cabinets. So I don't think it's going to take that much longer. So I don't know. But wow. Thank gosh I'm sleeping inside the last couple of nights, because next few nights can be 100 with 75% humidity. So if you're paying really close attention to the photo of the electrical system, I took the negative off the fuse to the charge controller. I've seen it done both ways, to the battery and to the charge controller. I'm going to see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll run a cable straight to the battery. But the negative line from the battery goes there. All the negatives tie in there, so I don't see if that's a problem. And the positive to the fuse panel, fuse box, fuse, whatever you want to call it, is going down on the downside of the 40 amp fuse from the charge controller. It's right to basically to the battery as well. So I don't think that's an issue. If it comes to be, I'll just run 2 more cables. I'd rather not, but we'll see. I thought it would be okay to run that way. I don't see an issue. I know it doesn't look as professional as a lot of builds, but I am working with a very small area, and there was a lot to put in that little area. I may get some cable ties, tie downs, screw them in so the wires don't rub on the wood. Need to probably do that. But hopefully it'll all be good to go tomorrow. And then I can finish up wiring up the lights on the roof. And maybe we'll start the diesel heater install. I have to research that, because in the book they show gaskets, but they didn't send any. And the picture of the diesel heater isn't even the same make or model I have. It's not an all-in-one. It's a tank over here, heater over there deal. So I don't know. But we'll figure it out. Hopefully a couple more days, and we can get this all wrapped up and be back on the road. So as always, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, all those good things. Really appreciate it. And you guys have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you next time on Jelly Bean Outdoors. Vanbuild.